Alright, kind of an update video on the, whatever this is, the Piro thing. If Piro, I don't know, who knows with Piro. Maybe somebody else, maybe nobody else. Suppose it doesn't really matter. Anyways, this whole finding a better way to structure debate and have it elevate into something decisive, complete. All of that crap, and yeah, I was, just so depressing. So anyway, I just figured I would leave this video for basically for somebody to comment on subjects they think are important, something that's not already done on the Vloggerdome page. So I'm certainly going to revisit those subjects, but I don't need you to inform me of those subjects because I already know they exist. So it can't be one of those, I guess. No point in suggesting subjects I'm already aware of. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I was thinking of different things. The whole idea of having the Supreme Court elected. I think that would be a good idea. Every 2 years you vote one on and you vote one off. That might be a good thing. And lots of little subjects. Animals have been on my mind lately. Cats specifically, and stray cats. And I know somebody's got a bunch of them in their backyard, and kittens, and it's all quite horrible, and there's just nothing you can do. And people do this catch and release thing, which I think is terrible. They catch them, cut their nuts off, and then let them go back into the the streets to get run over. I see no empathy in that, or rationality or anything. But I guess it keeps the vets in business, which is just looks a little bit, well, whatever. Like somebody thought of it on purpose, for that. Yeah. Well, anyway, it doesn't seem like a good enough solution. And there's just way too many of them, and somebody should be paying to fix this problem, and it probably should be pet owners. Sorry to say, but it's, this is their responsibility in a sense. It's their mess, and they should clean it up. Just speaking as somebody who's spent the last, 20 years, 30 years, taking care of stray animals that I didn't vote for. But anyway, but yeah, lots of subjects, other subjects I haven't touched yet, even the whole sports thing, and, maybe having some sort of intelligence Olympics, besides the Nobel thing, but maybe something more American, and something to encourage kids to get into the science and stuff, some sort of distributed reward system for doing something impressive intellectually rather than physically. Those kind of investments seem reasonable and rational. A commentary on the whole drug culture might be even worth something, just because, I'm just kind of sick of the drug culture, including the alcoholics. Just really quite sick of them. It's just another pacifier, and it just keeps you out of the game in a sense. And the game sucks. I mean, there's just it's almost like they should not be allowed to vote or something. If you can't do life straight, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't be voting. You certainly shouldn't be complaining about anything, because obviously you're, just couldn't give a shit about doing anything with yourself. Yeah. If you think pot is enlightenment, or anything else for that matter, so anything else but a silly, not even a wank. I mean, I could call it a wank, but it's far from that in most cases. So I don't even know what it is. It's like you're too retarded to figure out how to masturbate, so instead you drink some intoxicant so, yeah, you can laugh a little harder at SpongeBob. I mean, you know. Yeah. No, it all comes down to being a little bit, you know, in hindsight, looking backward, you just say, yeah, if it never existed, I would have been better off. And I just don't think an argument can be made that it does anybody improves their life through substances. But anyway, it'd be worth an argument, right? Is there, you know, is there really any defense? In the sense that certainly it's like the eating meat thing. You can raise kids not to eat meat, not to need it, not to be a big part of their diet even, or whatever, however you want to say it. It's not like you have to prohibit it like it's evil, but I just mean it doesn't have to be encouraged. It doesn't have to be whatever the right word is, enabled, and you can live without it, and it's just the truth. And people should live without those vices. It's like me and the nicotine thing. It's better not to, you know, be addicted to things. It's bad for you. It's stupid. Yeah. Yeah, it's a waste of potential. Mostly. Like I said, some stimulants are, you know, it's hard to, you know, it's a little bit tricky, because some things, they're not intoxicants, they're stimulants, and it's a little bit different. So, but anyway, I'm just saying that's a subject might be worth some sort of jibber-jabber on. But anyway, getting to the business. So yeah, the Vlogger subjects are good subjects. But yeah, so you know, if you want to list the subject in the comments, that would be appreciated, I suppose. People just don't seem terribly interested. You know, it's not much of a response to the video. A lot of useless comments. Facebook. Ooh, yeah, get a Facebook page. Yeah. No, somebody else can do that. You know, 15 dislikes. You know, which I don't even understand what that's about. I mean, they're disliking the idea of a better debate structured website. Like that would be a horrible thing, or a TV show that actually had philosophy on it. That would be just terrible. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, so the real problem is like, you know, with Vlogger, it was a good idea. It's just you couldn't find anybody to do the opposing arguments, really. So it was just constructing the affirmative argument without the opposition argument, and you know, I think you can anticipate that and all that kind of stuff, but it's obviously just didn't put in a form that people found very compelling. So try number 2 would be something different. So anyway, I was thinking of using the old video soap forums from Rational Access guy, yeah, so I'll leave a link below. See if you can sign in. I don't know what he's doing lately, so you know, who knows. My account seemed to still work, so I was thinking of posting the positive and negative whatever, you know, people could type stuff if they were so compelled, and then I could compile it into the final arguments through the message board onto the website eventually, and then produce the final videos and all that kind of stuff. And I stated, it just doesn't look like there's going to be too much, you know, people just aren't interested in debating anything on YouTube, and at least the people within the realm of my voice, you know, these videos. And so there's few people to make any debate videos or even podcasts or something. So I have to just see what we can find and what I can find, I guess, this we thing, and try to do some sort of demonstration. Do this to a couple of subjects and see if we can actually make something happen in terms of the annotating and all of that, which, I don't think there's going to be too many volunteers, so, I don't, it'd be nice to have these things, the timestamps. This guy said would be amazing, but, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to do it, so, there's just not enough interest among you people. And I don't really want to go on Facebook, or Twitter. Twitter seems kind of doomed anyway. Hopefully. Yeah, but that's that whole club thing anyway. It's just so, I don't, clubs. I just don't see anything productive coming out of that. So anyway, I wanted this video to be a little more coherent, but to the point and all that kind of stuff, and it's not going there. So the hell with that. I have worked on the page a little bit, so this thing works a little better now, and the little black and white thing works, and so you can add text comments here, but be warned, if there's a little link button. If you hit that, you can add a text comment. But be warned, yeah, if you use the function poorly, you will be blocked, like in a major way, like your IP and a lot of IPs similar to yours even. I don't really mind blocking whole countries if it comes to it. So I'm just saying that abuse the function and you will lose the function. Simple enough rule. Yeah, and it's sad that you even have to say that, to the human race. That's how dysfunctional the whole politics is. It's all a bunch of saboteurs and people who don't want to make an argument. They just want to break things and cheat things, and just all kind of sucks. So anyway, I don't even think Piro has seen this. To tell you the truth, I don't think he's listened to any of the videos. And so like I said, it's really hard to get him to do things on a schedule or any of that kind of crap or whatever. So anyway, I'm going to do this. I just don't know whether it's going to be worth doing, but I'll try to force myself to make like a weekly video update or something, and just try to feel obliged to keep working at it, and I'll see what happens. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to resonate with anybody but me that if you want to fix the world, you have to talk about fixing it first. And you have to have plans, and you have to have plans would be in the form of policies, like, having a justice, like I think voting on the Supreme Court would be a good idea. Every 2 years we vote one on and we vote one off. That would be cool. And I think having like an Attorney General of the United States elected, who would run, the who gets prosecuted kind of stuff. Keep an eye on the government officials as a separate, truly separate branch of government, instead of one appointed by the two parties. It's clearly the two parties are not two parties. It's, we're back in the kind of Lincoln days, and it's time for the parties to be, remolded, because they're really not serving common interests anymore. I mean, if Democrats are going to be what Piro is, then I can't be one, because they're unrealistic shit for brains. Yeah, welfare whores and immigrants. No, I'm not the champion of those things. I want real progress. I don't want to keep rewarding people for failing. I don't want to keep rewarding people for doing things that are really dumb, like having kids they can't afford. No, I want the whole incentive thing, you know. And you want to encourage good behavior. And where necessary, discourage bad behavior. But yeah, you got to do that, and it takes policy. Policies like, you know, one kid and you're done with welfare. You have a second kid, it's going to cost you. And just truth. You know, and, if you want the welfare, you got to get fixed. Or go out and get a job and pay for your kids. Kind of thing. You know, it's got to be some sort of rules. And, you know, these sappy liberals just don't want to pay any attention to that. And then, you know, and then it's all these stupid teachers union and stuff. Everybody's way up their ass, and they're just, you know, useless, you know, performance artists. It's like paying mimes on the street corner or something. There's no sense to it at all. But that was one of the subjects here, was the education reform, which was basically let's pay the kids to learn, pay them to pass tests. See, that's another one of these, you know, these just fundamentally stupid liberal notions that testing is bad. Yeah, testing doesn't demonstrate anything, which on its face is just fucking stupid. Dumb people don't do well on tests. Newsflash. Sometimes a smart person won't do too well on a test, but dumb people never do good on tests. It's a very good filter. You know. I mean, it's just stupid. I just don't even know where that came from. Like, testing isn't a good way to test somebody's knowledge and ability. Of course it is. It's a really great way to do it. Really, you know, especially when simple things like math and you know, language comprehension and stuff, yeah, it's, you know, works really well. So, just a crock of shit. Tests are good. Okay? So anyways, that could be a subject. Lots of things could be subjects. So anyway, not the video intended, but, you know, just turned out that I'm kind of buggy. So the video came out kind of buggy. Should have done it. I was thinking of doing it earlier in the morning. I said do it then, and I was a little tired. So, you know, I might be tired. It won't be a good video. And but yeah, I think it would have been better than this. This is almost nothing. I guess I'm just distracted by a bit of you know, futility or something. I'm just feeling a little discouraged, and you know, but there's no point. You know, I'm just gonna keep. There's no other game to play except this game, so I'm gonna have to play the game that's available, and see if I can inspire people to recognize that the system isn't going to change voluntarily. The people out here, us, are going to have to force it to change. And you know, it's just not going to happen with these kind of numbers. You know, 32 for 800 views, 32 likes, and 15 dislikes. Nope, those kind of numbers just ain't gonna make it happen. So I guess if I suggested everybody wear an anonymous mask and spin around in a circle and go, I'm not gonna take it anymore, and then go back to eating donuts, I guess if I suggested that, everybody'd say, sure, that's a good plan. You know, I don't know. It does amaze you that there's so many people recognizing that everything's just so broken, so fucked up. I mean, no matter who's elected president, I hope they get impeached in the first week, and then their vice president gets impeached the next week, and then the Speaker of the House or whoever takes over gets impeached the next week, and we get to have the election over again, because these people just ain't, they don't deserve it. They suck. These choices suck. Yeah, it's not good enough. Not even close. I hope that's not tech. Yeah. Anyway. So whatever. Yes, that's enough of the video. Just an update kind of thing. Working on stuff. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. But the real thing I really should work on is, got to do the physics thing and then win the Nobel Prize, and then, that might be the shortcut to relevancy, and, I can back into this somehow, maybe. You don't have to do it in this, this straight up way. But anyway, it is disappointing that, I guess you really can't get people to, I don't know. I don't know why they will do, they will show up for pointless demonstrations. They won't show up to actually organize, say, a better third party or something like that. But I guess it's just all this, everybody's just too, I guess that's why people are even hostile to the idea, because they really don't want to know they're idiots. They don't want to find out. And they really are all, I'm that Adam Curtis guy, he called it normalization, but it's not really normalization. People just have this deluded perception of their own competence and ability when they've never really been willing to test it. See, again, back to testing. They don't like testing. Yeah, they don't like having to prove anything. They're all Special Olympians, and they all expect their balloon, no matter how poor they did. And their little medal, their little pat in the bottom, or whatever they're looking for. Yeah, that's what's really wrong. Yeah. People are really deluded assholes. But, they don't want to hear that, so I probably shouldn't say it, but they really are. Anyway. Yeah, we'll see. Just really don't want to do Facebook. Don't want to do that. It's creepy as fuck. Just any website, that forces you to sign up, or they shove a blank banner on the page. I mean, Facebook is so annoying in that. I mean, it's just, we're just gonna degrade the performance of your computer because you won't sign up and make an account. How do you voluntarily do business with a company that does business that way? I don't want to have anything to do with shitheads that do that kind of crap. I mean, but see, I don't. Everyone else does. What's the difference? So anyway, I think that's enough. I could read comments, but there really haven't been any good comments. I mean, they're all kind of, what's the point? Alright. Camera's getting warm. Anyway, until next time. Sorry, this video was just way under, I'll have to do better. I failed this test. This is a performance failure. I concede.